Today we're looking at how to write the introduction of an essay. Essay writing is extremely important, especially for students at the high school level. Right, so as I was saying before, essay writing is extremely important for students at the high school level, especially for students who are planning to go to university. So today, we're going to start off by looking at the introduction. We have already looked at the parts of an essay, so now we're going to start with the introduction. So every essay should begin with an introduction. You might ask yourself, what is the introduction? An introduction is the first paragraph of your essay paper. And the purpose of your introduction is to tell your reader what the paper or the topic is and the points that will be made about your topic in your essay. Good. So now we're going to look at how to write an introduction. And right, so we're going to look at how to write introduction. First of all, let us take a few minutes to look at the parts of an introduction. An introduction has a hook, or if you want to call it an attention grabber, a leading statement, or what you can call a thematic statement or a bridge. The introduction also contains a thesis statement, and your thesis statement should have a main idea with 3 points to support your thesis main idea. Very good. So that would be your thesis main idea and 3 parallel points. Okay, good. Let us move on. So first of all, we're going to look at the first part of the introduction, which is called the hook. Now, when you think about a hook, think about going to fish. Whenever you're going to fish, of course, you're going to need a hook and some food on the hook to catch the fish, right? So it's the same thing that whenever you're writing an essay, you're supposed to use a statement at the very beginning of your introduction to capture your reader's interest or their attention, and it is also going to help your reader to want to continue to read the rest of your essay. It's important to note that it is the first opening statement in an essay. Now, there are different ways that people can write a hook. So I'm just going to list them right here quickly. We can use an interesting fact or an intriguing idea, a strong statement or a declaration hook, an interesting question hook, a fact or statistic hook, or we can use a metaphor or a simile hook, or a story hook, a description hook, or a quotation hook. However, for the kind of essay that we're going to be writing, we normally focus on the following. We can use an interesting fact, an intriguing idea, a strong statement, or a declarative hook. Those are suitable for the kind of essay that we're writing now, which is informational essay. So the others, you can use some other point in time. Maybe if your teacher at another school or university requires this, but for now, we're not going to be looking at the others. We're just going to be saying we are looking at using an interesting fact or an intriguing idea or a strong statement or a declaration hook. Very good. Now, please ensure that whenever you're writing a hook, it should be related to the overall topic of your paper, right? Make sure your hook is related to the topic that you're writing about. Don't just write any random hook. Make sure that your hook is related to the rest of your paper. All right, very good. We're going to move on. Now, A while ago, I said that you can use a strong statement as your hook. Use a strong statement as your hook. So you might ask yourself, how do I write a strong statement? So in order for you to write a strong statement, you have to get a claim that is very powerful, very thought-provoking, or one that can capture your reader's interest, and that will be your strong statement. Any sentence that makes a strong claim. So your strong statement is a statement that makes a strong claim, and it should be related to your thesis statement, and it should show why your essay paper is important, right? It doesn't matter if your reader wants to agree or disagree with your point. That's okay. It's okay. You just want to make sure that you're making a strong claim, right? All the reader should know is that you're backing, you know how to support your strong claim. For example, vegans have the best health of anyone on earth, right? So somebody can agree, and if they don't agree, that's okay. Once you can support your strong claim further on in the paper, it's all right. All right, we're going to move on quickly. Next part of it, so we have looked at the hook. Now, the next part of the introduction is called the leading statement, or if you want to call it this thematic statement, some persons call it a bridge. And it is simple. Basically, it is just a background information. So it's background information that creates context for the essay by providing a brief overview of the subject matter in the paper. So it's basically giving your reader a little overview of what your essay is going to be about. Very good. So that's your leading statement. Giving us some background knowledge to connect us to the rest of what you're going to talk about. So you're not assuming that we know about whatever you're going to say. Give us some background information that can help us to connect and understand the rest of what you're going to be talking about. Good. Now we're moving on to what we call the thesis statement. So we have looked at the hook, we have looked at the leading statement, or if you want to call it your thematic statement or your bridge, and now we're looking at the thesis statement. So you're asking yourself, what is a thesis statement? A thesis statement is usually made up of, if you want to say 2 sentences or 1, but it usually has one main point in it, one main idea. And then it should have 3 supporting points. So a thesis statement is usually 1 sentence that tells the main points of your essay or your research paper, and you have to prove it right throughout the paper. Now, how I normally tell my kids to write a thesis statement is what I'm going to look at next. So I'm going to come back to that, right? So how do you write a successful thesis statement? First of all, you need to remember that your thesis will tell your reader what's the main claim of your paper or what your paper is going to be about. Now, your claim is one that people can agree or disagree with. That's okay. As we said before, what you need to ensure is that you can support your claim. And the next thing is that it is a statement. It cannot be a question, and you have to write it in your own words. Next, your thesis statement is normally the last thing at the end of your introduction. So let us look at how to write your thesis statement clearly now. All right. So first of all, when you get your prompt is going to be a question that your teacher gives you, right? The prompt is going to tell you what to do. What is it that the teacher is asking you to do? or what is the task that you're required to do. Whenever you get your prompt, you can change your prompt into a question that will help you to create a proper main idea for your thesis statement. So let us say this is a prompt. Should schools require students to wear uniforms on a daily basis? What do you think? Do you think yes? Do you think no? If you think yes, then you can make up a strong claim to say schools should require students to wear uniforms on a daily basis. So that would be your claim or your main idea. That's what you believe. That's what you think. It's okay. Other persons don't need to agree with you. And then you're going to have your 3 reasons why you made the claim here. So here you made a claim. Now you're going to step 3 is when you tell us why. Give us 3 reasons. So first one, whenever students wear uniform, they experience less peer pressure. Next point, reasons uniforms cost less overall. Uniforms promote reduction of violence in school. After listing your 3 reasons, now you're going to put your main idea together with your 3 reasons, and that will make your thesis statement. So here's the main idea. It is right here. Schools should require students to wear uniforms on a daily basis. So you put it here. Schools should require students to wear uniforms on a daily basis due to the fact that students will experience, okay, yes, so that's the on a daily basis. That's the main idea. No, here are the reasons. 1, take the first reason from here and put it here. Students will experience less peer pressure. Put a comma, put the next point. Parents will spend less money on clothing, so uniforms cost less. You can write it back like this, or if you reword it to say the same thing, it's okay. And finally, put a comma and write "and" for the last thesis point or parallel point. And schools will see a reduction in violence among students. So how do you write a thesis statement? Look at the prompt. That's the first step. Look at the prompt. What does it say? After you look at it and you interpret it properly, then you go to step 2. Step 2, you create a declaration, you make a claim, you make an argument. This argument or this claim is going to be your thesis main idea or your thesis main point. And then you need to have 3 supporting reasons to support the point, the claim that you made here in step 2. And then you're going to combine the main idea. This is the main idea. You're going to combine it with the 3 reasons to make your thesis statement. As easy as that. All right, let us move on. Now, I want to give you some extra notes about your parallel points. Your parallel points are the same things that we refer to as your 3 reasons. The 3 reasons to support your claim or your thesis main point. So if you notice right here at the top, I am recapping what is a thesis statement, and I put it like this to show you that the thesis that we're looking at now is one that we call a 3-pronged thesis statement, and that means that it has a main idea and 3 reasons to support the main idea. Right? That's why we say it is 3-pronged. It has a main idea and 3 reasons to support the main idea. These 3 reasons are called your parallel points. All right. For example, down here, we have the first part of the thesis statement. The first part of it is the main idea, the claim, or if you want to call it a claim or your argument. And we took it from around the example I just showed you. Students should wear school uniforms. Why? So you ask the question, why? Why should, if you say something, then tell me why. Give me some reasons to support your argument. First one, they would help reduce discipline, be cheaper than other clothing, and help create school pride. So these are 3 reasons why uniforms are important. And then you put it together now. Put the parts together. Put your main idea together and the points. So here's a full thesis statement. Students should wear school uniforms because they would help reduce discipline. I think it should be in discipline, be cheaper than other clothing, and help create school pride. Now, after you have made your main idea, your argument or your claim or your declaration, and you have your 3 reasons to support, make sure you put them together as one statement, right? That's one statement. When you do that, we say it's a 3-pronged thesis statement. It has a main idea with 3 points to support it. Now, later on, as we go further, you're going to learn that each of these points in your thesis statement will be used to form a topic sentence for each of your 3 body paragraphs. All right, good. So, to put it all together, your thesis statement, if you want to make it strong, you have to have a view or a position or a claim or a declaration. Next, you need to make sure that you have your 3 parallel points or your reasons to support the claim that you made in number 1. And then you also need to make sure that whenever you're writing your thesis statement or the main idea of your thesis, you only have one main point. If you have more than one point in your thesis, you're going to be confusing the reader of your paper. They won't be able to follow your essay smoothly. Your essay will lack focus. Next one, a strong thesis statement shows exactly what your paper will be talking about, and it will help you keep your paper on a specific, clear topic. Make sure your thesis is specific, make sure it is clear, because it is a roadmap of your essay. Good. And these are the references if you want to get further information on how to write the introduction, the thesis statement, the leading statement or your thematic statement, or if you want to call it the bridge, you can find examples here. You can find more resources by using these websites. So let us review. When we look at the parts of an introduction, we know that an introduction has a hook, or if you want to call it an attention grabber, a leading statement, or what you call a thematic statement or a bridge. You have a thesis statement, or if you want to call it your three-pronged thesis statement, meaning that you need to have a main idea and 3 reasons to support your main idea. This is it for now. We're just looking at the introduction today. Never quit essay writing. It is a lifetime required skill. All the best in your essay writing journey. See you. Bye-bye.